This call is now being recorded.
Welcome everybody. Today webinar series masterclass 8. Today's topic রেডিও ইন ডেমোক্রেটিক পেরিফেরি, অর্থাৎ গণতান্ত্রিক পরিবেশে রেডিওর কি ভূমিকা সে নিয়ে আজকে আলোচনা করবেন। টুডে স্পিকার ডক্টর সৌম্য দত্ত, অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট প্রফেসর, ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ জার্নালিজম অ্যান্ড মাস কমিউনিকেশন, লরেটো কলেজ। On behalf of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Vijaygarh Jyotish Rai College, I would request to Dr. Shaumo Datto, please to deliver your speech. Shaumo.
Thank you so much, Arnabda. I hope I am audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Arnabda. It's a privilege to be a part of this. When you contacted me to deliver this, I feel privileged and I'm happy to interact with so many students who are here to listen to this area. Now, as we all know, radio is one of the most interesting medium because radio has a reach till today, into areas which are unthinkable for other medias to reach in India. And if we think about radio kotha jodi amra boli, then we can actually we are looking at 92% reach that radio has. And when we talk about that, we are primarily talking about all India radio. Now, when a certain medium have 92% reach, it has a great role to play in democracy. So today we will categorically come to that what role does this radio plays in a developing nation like India. Now, earlier it was radio, and then television, as we all know. Prasar Bharati came into being. I'm not going much into the historical aspect of it because I think it has already been covered. But in a democratic periphery, radio today is very relevant. And as I will continue discussing, we will be talking about the present situation that we are in. That is about this corona problem that we there and where radio can come in, and the instance of Amphan that we had here in West Bengal and other disasters which happened in the country, and how radio played a very important role. We will come to those gradually. But to start with, when we talk about radio has a great role to play in societal transformation. So whenever we are talking about a change in the society, when you are talking about bringing about a long lasting change, radio has a role to play. Now, is there a problem with the volume? I think. Is the volume okay?
Okay.
It's okay. Okay. I hope everybody, because I think there's somebody posted there's a problem with the volume. Okay. So radio has a role to play, and when we talk about societal transformation, then we are specifically talking about community radio. We will come in detail to that later on in the later part of the discussion that we have. But now, to start with, All India Radio is guided by the basic goals of imparting information, education, and entertainment. Now, when we talk about a developing nation, when we talk about a developing society, the goals of media system are a bit different from maybe the goals of a media system which is thriving in a developed country. So in a developing country like ours, it was envisaged that radio must be guided by the basic principles of imparting information, education, and entertainment. So if you can just follow, information and education is coming prior to entertainment. So information and education is there, that is then followed by entertainment. So the first primary areas that are there are information and education. The basics of communication requirement, popularly known as LIICCA. I will define what LIICCA stands for. It's language, information, interest, correctness, credibility, and adaptability. So these are the areas which actually guide the media system that we have in the country, or we are supposed to be guided by these traits, and All India Radio is no exception. Now, the various formats that All India Radio developed over a period of time steadily led to its growth in credibility. Now, let me just let's just link it to the present situation that we're in and a present study, and then I will again go back to the discussion that I'm having. Now, present study says that we are all talking about the growth in the consumption of television. We are all talking about the growth of consumption of digital media in the present corona situation, the lockdown that we are facing. But then, if we see the present study shows that the consumption or the access to radio has also exponentially grown in this particular period. Now, when people are tuning into radio, and the credibility index of radio is higher than television, so that is also very interesting. The credibility index that was found in the research is higher than television, so that is also there. And when we talk about that, we are including All India Radio as well as the other FM formats which are there. But then we will primarily today talk about All India Radio, because when we talk about development, when we talk about reach and access, it's primarily All India Radio which has the wider periphery. Now, so the credibility was built. What does the credibility helps in? It has enabled in disseminating the desired and desirable messages. So, if you have to reach out to the people with the desired message, the first thing that you need to develop is your credibility. So if your credibility is in question, whatever message you give will not be accepted by the masses. So it's very important that you are credible with the message that you are giving. And All India Radio, over a period of time, developed that credibility. So this was very important in a democratic setup, where you need the reach and the access to reach to those corners of the population where other mediums are not able to reach, and with that, a credible medium which people are going to look forward to for their information and knowledge. Now, what are the kind of formats that All India Radio caters to? I think some of you must be, or most of you will be knowing about it. Just a rundown of the areas. That is the news and current affairs, special audience programs, and they are a real source of information, education, entertainment. So when we look at the news and the current affairs segment that is there in All India Radio, when we think of all the programs which are there in All India Radio are a bit different from maybe the other segments which are available in FM radio, and you will not see mainly a kind of program which is addressed to the farmers, which are addressed to youth, which are addressed to the students. So these are very
Shomo,
special
Shomo, please. Shomo, soundটাকে increase করা যায়?
Which are there, and they are a real source of information, education, and entertainment. Now, the programs for the children, one of them. The sound is full.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
No. Okay, better. Yes.
Am I audible now?
Fine, this audio fine. Clear.
Is it clearer? Okay, thank you so much, Arnabda. So when we're talking about the news and current affairs, the special audience programs which are there, so they're a real source of information, education, and entertainment. So as I was just discussing right now, there are programs for children, for youth, for women, as well as rural programs. And rural programs are of utmost importance, because when you are reaching out to all those sections, when you are reaching out to those who don't know what their rights are, what their entitlements are, then these kind of programs are of utmost importance. Now, over a period of time, the kind of programs, the special audience programs, the news and the information segments which All India Radio has developed over a period of time, they become a repository of information and knowledge, and have contributed to the development of the country. So when you look back, if you find certain archival or archives which are there kept in All India Radio stations and places, you will see that over a period of time, such rich kind of programming which are specifically tailor-made for the people who are residing in the peripheries is really noteworthy, and the kind of the impact that they had over a period of time, and the kind of role that they played in the societal transformation and the development of the country. Now, let us also talk about two very important revolutions that happened in the country, that is the Green Revolution and the White Revolution. We know about it, the Green Revolution and the White Revolution. In both the cases, All India Radio played a very important role. So All India Radio had a major role to play, and how they did it? By popularizing the various tenets of the Green Revolution, the White Revolution, reaching the ideas about this revolution to the people who needed information about it the most. So, popularizing a message among people who were before this unaware of this great transformation that was happening in the country. Now, the radio broadcasting over the years has expanded not only in terms of numbers of radio stations and transmitters. So if we limit it only to the number of radio stations and transmitters, we will definitely be doing a disservice, and we'll be limiting it only to the technical aspect of it. But there was more to this technical aspect. It was not only the technical aspect that was happening, there were other societal changes which were happening through the kind of programming that All India Radio was incorporating, which was related to the socio-economic transformation that was happening in the country. So they were making the programs in tune with the socio-economic changes that were happening in the country, and this were in tune with the aspirations of a developing nation. So so if you just limit it to the technical aspect of it, that the transmitters, the radio stations, you are only going to limit it to one aspect of it. But you will also have to think about, when we are talking about democratic periphery, the socio-cultural aspect and the connect that radio did over a period of time, and that was really noteworthy. And this led to the development of the nation, obviously based on the guidelines of a nation which we call as a developing nation. Now, in All India Radio, we have national broadcasts, we have regional broadcast and local broadcasts. Now, whenever you have national broadcast, when you have regional broadcast and local broadcast, the ultimate benefit of this is you are reaching to sections which might be not possible right now for FM radio stations to reach. We all know that frequency modulation, the radius that is there, is limited, and it is not possible for them to reach to those areas where All India Radio can reach through its network. Now, I think some of you or most of you might have felt, when before Corona, when we were easily moving in trains and buses and cars, when you were moving from one zone to another, maybe you were moving beyond Howrah station, just for example, you will see after a certain after you have left a certain space, there is no more FM network that is available. And then if you tune to an All India Radio channel, the frequency might be available, but FM channels were not available in those places. So compared to this FM, that All India Radio reach is so wide that this has led also to the development that is there. But when we are saying all these good things about All India Radio, there are a few things that we need to keep in mind and something that we need to ponder. Now, in a democracy, when we talk about information and democracy, information ideally in democracy should be free-flowing, right? But what we see in case of All India Radio, and I think India is one of the very few democracies where there is state monopoly over news and current affairs section. So when it is news and current affairs, it has to be given by All India Radio and its affiliate channels. FM radio, all the channels have all the freedom to telecast this song and entertainment and all these kind of programs. But when it comes to news and information, as we know, as in case of news bulletin, then it is obviously a monopoly that All India Radio has, and FM radio is still government is yet to give that license in a full-fledged manner to the various FM channels. And I personally feel that if that is given, that will widen the periphery of democracy, that will lead to plural opinions, and this will lead to deepening of democracy, which we need in the country. Now, when we talk about democratic periphery, the first thing that we need to consider is community radio. And with community radio comes the participatory approach. Now, why we are so concerned about the participatory approach in democracy? Now, earlier when we had the earlier days of development, the 5-year plans and everything, the communication strategies, uh, all harped on a top-down structure. So top-down structure, by what that means, that all the developments are happening at the top, and they thought and they presumed that those developments are going to trickle down to the bottom. But over a period of time, when we found the realities of a developing nation like India, it was felt that that this is not yielding the desired result that we wanted. So what is the alternative to it? The alternative to it is participatory communication practices. So, in participatory communication practices, it is not the top down; it is rather, down to top. So, participatory communication, participatory collaborations, and happening at all the various kind of sections. Once you go up, it is this manner in which information is going up. So, for this participatory communication to thrive, community radio plays a very important role. Now, what are the tenets of community radio? Community radio, as the World Association for the Community Radio, they say it, which is basically the body, it has got a Spanish name called AMARC. Now, they defined community radio as the voice for the voiceless. Now, those who don't have voice, those who are marginalized, those who are not finding any avenue where they can address their own concerns, when they feel oppressed, when they feel that this society has made them, an outsider, community radio can be a solution to it. Now, what is community radio about? It is not only about doing something for the community. This is also what AMRC said and it observed. It is not only about doing something for the community. It's about the community doing something for itself. So it is all the members of the community in a participatory approach coming together, doing something for the society, for themselves, for the community, and addressing their own concerns, their needs, making themselves aware of their responsibilities as well as their rights, their entitlements. What are the various government measures which are targeted towards them, which are meant for them, but till today, because of the lack of information, they didn't know about it. Community radio tries to bridge that gap. Now, obviously, community radio doesn't have a wide radius. It can only operate within a certain radius. Like, say, for example, I think some of you know that Jadavpur University has its own community radio station, and obviously it is operational within a certain perimeter. There are 6 other, as per Ministry of Information Broadcasting's website, there are 6 operational community radio stations in West Bengal. So those are there. I'm coming to them later on. But community radio plays a very important role in this. Now, it helps in raising awareness among people and informing citizens about their rights and entitlements, as I said, and also it can reach to the most vulnerable sections like the illiterate, the disabled, women, youth, and the poor. And I'll definitely give stress to these areas like the disabled, women, illiterate, youth, and the poor. Now, there have been movements in some other countries. I haven't seen such kind of movements till now here. There might be certain NGOs we are thinking of doing on the same lines, but there are community radio movements which are aimed at reaching out to the disabled, their needs, their aspirations. The youth, community radio being totally developed by the youth for their own needs, for their own aspirations. So that is also something which is very important and very pertinent for the growth of the.
সৌম্য,
one of that.
মাঝে মাঝে একটু আস্তে হয়ে যাচ্ছে, ওই মাইকের কাছ থেকে মনে হয় চলে গেলে মাঝে মাঝে সাউন্ডটা খুব আস্তে হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
Okay. Thank you. So, is it audible now?
হ্যাঁ, এরকম ঠিক আছে।
এটা ঠিক আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ, এটা ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু সরে গেলে আবার আস্তে হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
Okay.
একটু মাইকটা কাছে বলো। হ্যাঁ।
Yeah. So for the illiterate, the disabled, women, youth, and the poor, So all these sections, if we're talking about all these sections, then community radio has a huge potential. And as I said at the very beginning, that as AMRC observed that it is a voice for the voiceless. Now, one thing that we need to consider here or need to understand here is that how community radio came into being and how community radio became a movement in this country. When we discussed earlier, we were talking about a radio system where there is a state monopoly as far as news and current affairs section is concerned. Then where from suddenly community radio came into being? Now, what freed radio from government control was the landmark judgment of the Supreme Court in 1995. In fact, Supreme Court came up with a landmark judgment in 1995, which stated that airwaves constitute public property and must be utilized for advancing public good. Now, this was a landmark judgment by Supreme Court in 1995. They felt that yes, it is really you cannot have monopoly over the airwaves. So airwaves, you need to, these are for public good and you have to do something which is for public utility. And this spearheaded the movement for community radio. So government was forced, in some way to issue licenses. Now, in 1999, there were some basic licenses given. However, it took almost 3 years from 1999 for the state to bring about policy on community radio. So there was no stated policy for community radio till 2002. In 1999, obviously, followed by in 1995, followed by the judgment in 1999, government started giving licenses, but there were no stated policies as such. Policies came up in 2002, but in the policy, it was felt that community radio should be limited only to, well-established educational institutions. Again, those who were fighting with community radio movement, they felt that why it should only be limited to well-reputed educational institutions. There are many others who might be interested to work on this particular aspect, who want to work in this particular area. So why you are only limiting or monopolizing it among, well-known educational institutes? So why don't we increase the ambit of it? Then finally, these community radio activists were going on, they were agitating, they were saying they wanted government to take some actions, and successfully, after a lot of deliberation that happened in 2006, government finally felt that this can go beyond the educational institutes, and they felt that NGOs, agricultural research centers, and registered societies can also seek community radio licenses. So now the ambit went beyond, this universities and educational institutes, and then they felt that NGOs, agricultural research centers, and registered societies can also seek community radio licenses. Now, initially, when all these licenses were coming, this I'm telling of 2006. Government had an idea of around 400 community radio stations by maybe by this time, but in 2018 there were around 2017 community radio stations, and today this I'm stating the data that has been provided in Ministry of Information Broadcasting's website. It is downloadable. You can just go and click and download. The number of operational community radio station is 289, and out of which, as I said, six are in West Bengal. Two prominent institutes that we can name. One is obviously Jadavpur University. It's still operational, and NSHM, which has its thing, and then obviously Salesian College, Sonada. All them have community radio stations, apart from few of the NGOs also who are operating community radios in the state. So India-wide, if we think pan-India-wide, it's 289 community radios as the data provided by Ministry of MIB, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, on 31st March 2020, out of which 6 are in the state of West Bengal. So this is how it stands now, far away from the envisaged goal of 400 community radio stations. We are now still stuck at 289. Now, one of the distinctive features of community radio is that it is owned by the community itself. So you own the whole thing. You produce it. You produce what kind of program you're going to produce. You come with the technical know-how. You might take a training from people who know about radio operations. Then you master it. You only run the production and you come up with the final thing. Many times, if there are special segments or special audience-based programs, then you can yourself take part in the program and create the program. Now, as they say that in community radio, they are the producer and the audience of this media. What is the goal? The goal is to serve local community needs and not profiteering. Now, this is also a very important aspect which I want to tell to all of you. That is regarding this aspect of profiteering. Now, when you are using a medium for democratic participation, it cannot be driven solely by your revenue interests, because then if the revenue interests or the ad interests become dominant, then obviously they will try to dictate the kind of content that you are giving. Community radio is not guided by this idea of profiteering. Community radio is for the community, for their needs, for their aspirations, for bridging the gap between the government policies and them being aware of those policies. It is also about them making the administration aware of their needs and wants. So profiteering is the last thing that can happen for a community radio, and it is not a guiding principle. Okay, now we all know the importance of radio as an effective medium of communication in areas where other media formats cannot reach. This I discussed at the very beginning, and this has been again kind of ratified by World Bank in its World Development Report, where it stated that radio in its various forms has the potential to work for the upliftment of the rural population of a country, of a developing country like India. Now, they're extremely effective in giving voices to those people who are marginalized and don't have a voice of their own. Now, we all know that there is a very specialized area of study that we have in communication studies now, which is called development communication studies. And with development communication studies, the role of community radio increased manifold, because this was thought to be an agent to foster development in those marginalized sections. Now, but here I just want to say one thing, that the medium can be good. You can use a medium for development, but what is also more important is empowering the community where the medium is working. First, we empower the community, and then the medium takes shape. So when the medium, that is the community radio, which is working in this particular community, then when it empowers simultaneously, it helps the community to come up to a particular level. Now, a particular level of awareness, a particular level of understanding, a particular level of listening to their own voice. Now, here I am going to say something very interesting to you all. Now, they say that people just listening to their voices, they feel empowered, that yes, they have a voice. In very remote marginalized sections of the country, where they felt that their voices doesn't matter in this total aspect of development that is happening. So their voices are of no use. So when they suddenly find that their voices have worth, their voice have meaning, their voice also matters, then they feel that yes, they are also part of a nation building. Now that is very important. The first thing to empowerment is to give them the voice, and community radio gives them the voice. Now, this voice gives them the confidence that they can get a better deal from the government and from other castes. Now, this is also a very important area when we talk about rural population, when we talk about the marginalized sections, when we talk about the unprivileged sections, when we talk about the sections which haven't come up in the periphery of development, we are also talking about the caste divide that runs deep in this country. So when we are talking about the caste divide, if we empower these people, they will then start thinking that yes, there are other people who are listening to me, and I am not an outcast in this caste-oriented country, right? And my voice also matters. Now, community radio initiatives offer opportunity to people to debate issues and events of common concern and to set counter hegemonic agendas. Now, this is also very important that when you are, you are debating on issues which are of importance to you, you are debating on issues which are of common concern to people who are around you in the community. You are also in some way countering the hegemonic tendencies which are at that time prevalent in the society. Now, there can be a hegemonic media system, there can be a hegemonic social system, and there can be an hegemonic, kind of a total order that is there. Now, the hegemonic media system we all know about, that it is a media system which is dominated by certain ideas where this kind of voices doesn't find much space. Now, when there is a counter narrative which community radio helps them to build, then this total buildup of a counter hegemonic agent. Now let's come to another very important aspect which is there when we're talking about this democratic periphery, that is special needs. Now, radio and special needs. Now, we know radio has a very important role to play when it is catering to the special needs of sections like children, farmers, the students, the disabled. Now, we all know that the All India Radio have special broadcasts like Farm and Home and Kisan Vani. So these are very common programs across stations in All India Radio. You have Farm and Home as well as Kisan Vani. So these are programs which are always targeted towards the farmers and the rural population of the country. High yielding seeds, when to go forward with the yield, the kind of climate, any climate hazard which is there. So all these kind of things are discussed threadbare. Now, there can be special programs for the students. I'll be coming to them in detail. There can be special programs for the disabled and children. Now, today I'll be discussing about what is presently happening in All India Radio. Presently in All India Radio, if you just tune into All India Radio, its various stations, you will see that in a few of the stations that All India Radio has, because of this corona pandemic situation that is there is virtual learning that is happening through Doordarshan All India Radio. So if we, for today's discussion's sake, if we take up All India Radio, now it is into curriculum based programs like for primary, middle and high school level students. So these are students with the special needs. They need the information. Suddenly there has been a lockdown. Suddenly the schools are closed because of the health risks, the health hazards. But education must go on, learning must go on. As now I am interacting with you all in a virtual space. Anubda has facilitated this and we are going forward with this. You all are listening to me. I am interacting with you all. If in a normal situation, we might have interacted in a classroom situation, but now the classroom has become virtual. Similarly, what All India Radio thought was that why don't we make radio as one of the mediums to help these students with their learning process, and learning should not stop. So they devised special programs for the sections that I said, for primary, the middle and the high school level students. Now, there is also programs for secondary school level, certificate programs, as well as and model question papers for 10th standard students are also being made available. So there is this school level living certificate subjects as well as model question papers for 10th standard students are also being made available. So when you are doing such kind of things, at least there is of some help for people or for students who are seeking the information and not getting it from the classroom. Yes, they are getting information from their teachers. Maybe many of them sorry many of them are getting connected through the virtual classroom that is there. But when you are thinking of the marginalized sections, the sections where they don't have a smartphone, they don't have other digital outputs where they can't reach, then what is coming, what is available, what can be easy? What is easy is radio, because radio has that 92% reach. So they can actually tune into radio to listen to these informations which can be of help to them. Now, as the statistics say that uh, 11 hours of such kind of programming is being made by All India Radio on a daily basis. So 11 hours. So this is cumulative of all the stations which are there in All India Radio. Total 11 hours across the various states of the country. So this is All India Radio's total output that is there, and this is a great service, I would say, during this lockdown time when All India Radio is coming up with these programs and helping the students with the special needs of their education through their programming. Now, so this I just wanted to say, because this is something which is a very latest development that has happened, and this is the development through which we are going through the lockdown phase, the problem that has been done through Corona, and how All India Radio through radio as a medium trying to help out the students in through the kind of programming that they're doing through the educational programs. Now, another important role that obviously radio has is during the time of disaster. Radio plays a very important role during any kind of disaster which happens in our society. Now, as we all know, again, we are talking about a medium which has 92% reach, 92% access. Now, whenever we are talking of such kind of a medium, let's say, for example, we are thinking of maybe the remotest corners of Digha in West Bengal or certain other places where they might not be having a smartphone. If they have a smartphone, they might not be having a high-speed internet. They're not having, television. If they have a television, they might not be having the kind of transmission support that is needed. There, radio has a very important role to play. So you just need, and it is obviously, we all know, I think we have all read that radio is a very affordable medium. So whenever you are, kind of taking radio, you can just procure it at a very less price and you can listen to it. And the basic phones that you have, it is not the smartphones, the basic phones that you have also have, the radio thing enabled with it. So once you listen to it, you can listen to radio, and that can help to you, for you to seek the information that you need. Now, whenever there is a disaster, like say for example, there was Phani and now there is Amphan, there was a lot of information which was being passed on by the local administration. So there was the police and the local administration who were there, who were miking on those zones. They were telling the things which are there. Apart from that, radio was used in a large scale. So whenever there are certain messages, you just tune into radio and you know that the cyclone is going to hit at this particular time, and the fishermen are told not to go to the sea, not to venture out to the sea. So all these kind of things can be known from radio. So once you listen to the radio, you can know that these are the things which are happening. Now, let me just historically say one or two cases, 3 or 4 cases where in India this kind of radio came into real operation. Now, in 1979, there was a flash flood at Morvi, which happened due to the Manchu Dam burst in Gujarat, and this led to a real catastrophe. But then these kind of radio services, and another radio which I need to discuss here is the ham radio, which we also call as the amateur radio. Amateur radio clubs or amateur radio movements, they sprung up and they helped a lot in the total coordinated relief, rehabilitation, and reaching out the essentials to the people who needed it the most. Okay. Similar kind of ham movements happened during the cyclonic storm which happened in Saurashtra. Number of times in Andhra Pradesh, because Andhra Pradesh we all know is a cyclone-prone state. In Orissa and as well as in West Bengal. In Orissa, over the years during cyclones, Orissa has been badly hit by cyclones. This ham radio, which we also know as the amateur radio, they came into operation and had a major role to play. They were in fact in a very effective manner helping the local administration to inform the people, to reach out to them, to reach out to those who are difficult to reach, and to tell them about the various availability of relief, rehabilitation measures. Now, let us take a latest development that happened, the latest development that we know of, that is during this Amphan that happened. Uh, this kind of ham radio or amateur radio swung into operation in Orissa, and they worked in hand with Orissa Disaster Rapid Action Force or ODRAF, and they were deployed in Balasore district because of the distance between Bhubaneswar and Balasore. Very high frequency modulation was not possible, so they just use short waves, high frequency waves to reach out, and they were very successful in helping the people, in making the people aware of the impending kind of cyclone, and also to reach out to them after it hit, to tell them, to make them aware of the various developments uh, which were there. Now they made use of very pedestrian methods, and they were very effective, in reaching out to the people over there. So ham radio has been a success, big success when we talk about disaster communication. Now let us talk about our own state, West Bengal, during Amphan. So there have been ham radio clubs which have been operational, and they swung into action with the South 24 Parganas district administration, and they helped in rehabilitation, reaching out to the people, telling them about where from they can get the various necessary things which they need, the bare minimums which are needed, who are the organizations who are catering to their needs, who are catering to their interests, the various NGOs, information about them, the various governmental measures. That was done through ham radio, and and in some way they were trying to connect the district administration headquarters with the remote islands which were there in like Moshuni Island, Shagor Island, Kakdip, Oshaba, and other islands in the Sundarbans. So we all know that what happened in Sundarbans, and it was that this cyclone was devastating for a lot of this for the state, but for Sundarban and the adjoining areas, it was devastating. Now, whether it was Moshuni Island, about which I came to know from one of my colleagues, the kind of devastation that happened there. Now, for Shagor Island and other places, there were a few NGOs initially who went and started working there. Other organizations were not in a position to go, so uh, or not being able to reach out there. They were trying to, because of the lack of connectivity, because of the roads being destroyed, all kind of connection being destroyed. It was very difficult to reach out. Then this kind of ham radio clubs, this amateur radio movements, they played a significant role. They played a significant role in reaching out to them, in giving them the information, and connecting them to the district administration. So when we are talking about radio in a democratic periphery, these are the classic examples of how radio played a very important role in connecting the masses, in letting them know of their of the things which have been made available for them, giving a voice to their own concerns, their local concerns, giving a voice to the various lacunae that has been there. So if we think it in a comprehensive manner, all the the radio formats that I discussed, starting from All India Radio, the community radio movement, and radio in disaster communication, and where apart from All India Radio, we also talked about this amateur radio movement, or the ham radio that we call the ham, which means the amateur, uh, the terminology for amateur that we know. So all this play a very significant role in a democratic setup, aiding in participatory communication. But one thing again, which I just need to say before I conclude, that is, whenever we are talking about democracy, we also have to think of one thing, that information and communication is one area which should be free flowing. And if you have a plural democracy, then media should have the freedom. Obviously, with the necessary responsibilities, we all know the problem that we have nowadays, at times with an irresponsible media, but mostly for media to be, to be very effective, for an effective democracy, we need a media system that is free. And as I said at the very beginning of my lecture, I want to just go back there and say that All India Radio is one such kind of a radio system where still news and current affairs is monopolized by the government. FM radio is becoming so popular in this country, and it is only in certain sections, it is only FM radio which is extremely popular. News and current affairs is not a major section there. When we talk about FM radio, it is primarily about entertainment, it is primarily about music, but we don't talk about news and current affairs much. So when we can have those kind of segments in FM radio with All India Radio, then we can talk about plurality, and that I think would help this radio to develop in the radio periphery even further. So that was my presentation. Thank you all. Over to you, Anubda.
Thank you, Shoma. Dr. Shoma Datta, thank you for your presentation. Now, any question from?
If there are any questions, you can address them. I will try to answer. If there are
Any question? Unmute your mic, please.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please. Please.
Sir, my name is Kaji Sathuras. I'm a student of journalism from Vijaygarh Judiciary College. Sir, I'm asking that I know that radio is doing very good in making people aware, working for the beneficiary, but nowadays, be honest, I don't listen to radio much. I listened to that 5 years back when I had no other option. Now I have Android, now I have computer. I go for more of them. If you want information, I'll go to the net, quickly Google it and see. So is the future of radio going down, or are people not realizing it's efficient? So if someone would say that I will work for radio, will it be advisable?
Okay, very good question that you asked. Now, one thing, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you raised a very good question. I just wanted to. This is one area which I addressed in my lecture also. That when you are talking about that Android phone and the kind of the internet support that you are getting to access any kind of program, you are talking about which you belong to also, a very privileged section, who have all these things. But think of all those remote areas of the country where still smartphone is not a reality. If you go by the latest statistics that we have in the country, smartphone penetration is not that huge. Okay, it is good, it's significant, but it is not that much in those sections where they need the information but they can't access them. Okay, so that is a very important thing that we need to consider. And radio is a thriving medium, let me tell you, because after the coming of FM, yes, we are talking of FM and not AM as such, but after the coming of FM, radio has definitely thrived and has developed. Okay, and as I told you, I gave you the latest kind of data that is there, which is part of a research, where after television and at certain times more than television, it has been a credible medium, and the reach has been huge during a certain time than lockdown, which only points to the fact that radio has its acceptability, radio has its credibility, and people are listening to radio. Obviously, as you said, that when you might be in an urban centric zone, you might not find the need for a radio, but when we talk of the marginal sections, radio has its importance, where smartphone hasn't made the penetration yet to give them the up-to-date knowledge.
Okay, sir, I agree, but there's one more query.
Yeah.
Okay, underprivileged areas where radio is a big factor, but such places which are much below underprivileged, such as in the jungles where people live, the tribes, where there is not even the thing called electricity. So how will radio ever help them? We cannot leave them alone.
Yeah, so when we look at the government data which says 92% of the population, we are thinking of a population where at least periphery of those population have been reached. But as you raised a very good question, that what happens there where they don't have any kind of electricity. I have gone to such places when I was working at one point of time in Jharkhand. I have gone to to remotest villages over there where they don't have electricity, but they are listening to a transistor. So because of the airwave, they can listen to a transistor, coming at a very less cost that they can listen to it. And if that is also not available, then obviously government has to think of measures where they can reach out to those people. But the only medium to reach them, which I found there, was only radio, and there was no television, there was no electricity, there was nothing. They didn't have a smartphone, and they didn't have a phone. So that was the scenario, but they were listening to a transistor set. This I have personally seen, and I wanted to share with you.
Okay. Shubhajit Acharya, any question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Rohit Niyogi?
I request those who are putting questions in the chat box, if you can just unmute your mic and ask
Rohit
me.
Niyogi, unmute. Rohit?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, कौन college?
Surendranath College. I am from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Besh, bolo.
Please ask. Please ask.
Sir, do you think that in these days of over-exaggerated news media channels, listening to radio would get a bounce even in modern cities?
When we are talking about modern cities, radio is not an option which is really, coming to the forefront. The main aim of today's talk that I had was, when we talk about democratic periphery, we were thinking of those sections where, this kind of urban developments have not reached. But again, I want to go back to the study which I cited in my lecture, where it is stated that, and very interesting for you, you'll be happy to know this, that this was an urban centric study that was done of radio, considering FM and AM channels. There it was competing with television, and the credibility is higher than television. Now take that. Okay, so credibility is higher than television, as you said, exaggerated television kind of channels, exaggerated kind of content. Credibility of radio is higher than television. That's a very interesting thing that came out in this study. So I would suggest you all to, give radio a bit more importance and read about it. You will find that it will surprise you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any more questions?
ওকে, আর কারোর কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে? আর কারোর যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে? আচ্ছা, সৌম্য, আমরা যেটা ঠিক করেছি যে আমরা এরা কোশ্চেন, একটা গ্রুপ ফর্ম হয়েছে, ওরা কোশ্চেন পরে পাঠাতে পারে, এবং সেই কোশ্চেনগুলো নিয়ে পরে আমরা আবার, মানে যারা যারা ডেভেলপমেন্ট কমিউনিকেশন বা রেডিও নিয়ে বলছেন, আমরা আরেকটা দিন সুযোগ করবো যেখানে শুধু কোশ্চেন আনসার সেশন হবে। ওরাও একটু ভাববে এবং এই রেকর্ডিংটা ওরা শুনবে। আমরা 2-4 দিন বাদে রেকর্ডিং হয়তো দিয়ে দেবো, দিলে ওরা একটু আবার শুনে আবার ওদের কোশ্চেন, কারণ চট করে কোশ্চেন অনেক সময় আসে না অনেকের, তো সেইগুলো একটু করে আমরা আবার তাহলে মিট করতে পারবো। ধন্যবাদ তোমাকে, খুব সুন্দর একটা আলোচনা এরকম স্বল্প সময়ে আমাদের কাছে করার জন্য। আবার সাংবাদিকতা ও গণজ্ঞাপন বিভাগ, বিজয়গড় জ্যোতিষায় কলেজের পক্ষ থেকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ, এবং যে সমস্ত স্টুডেন্ট যারা পার্টিসিপেট করেছো তাদেরকেও ধন্যবাদ জানাই, এবং তাদের যদি কাজে লাগে তাহলে আমরা এইভাবে আরো এগিয়ে যেতে পারি। এবং আমাদের যারা সাহায্য করছে, প্রফেসর সৌম্য দত্তর মতো আরো যারা যারা আসছেন তাদেরকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই, এবং তারা এগিয়ে আসছে, গ্ল্যাডলি এগিয়ে আসছেন এই ওয়েবিনার বা এইরকম মাস্টার ক্লাসটা, অর্থাৎ স্টুডেন্টদের কাজে। তোমাদের জন্যই সবাই এগিয়ে আসছেন, তোমরা একটু উদ্যোগী হও এবং এই কোশ্চেন নিয়ে। এবং এই প্ল্যাটফর্ম থেকে আমি একটা কথা বলি যে তোমাদের মধ্যে যারা আছো, এবার আমরা চেষ্টা করবো 2-4টে ওয়েবিনারের পর তোমাদেরকে বক্তা করার, অর্থাৎ আমরা শুনবো, আমরা সেখানে যারা যারা বলছেন তারা হয়তো জাজ হিসাবে থাকবেন, আমি সেটা চেষ্টা করব তাদেরকে রাখার, এবং তোমরা কেমন বলছো, কেমন শুনছো, শোনার পরে তোমরা 10 মিনিট 8 মিনিট করে বলবে, যেমন ভাবে এনারা 1 ঘন্টা বলছেন তোমরা হয়তো 10 মিনিট বললে, কিন্তু আমরা চেষ্টা করব যারা স্টুডেন্ট স্পিকার তোমরা তৈরি হও, এবং সেভাবে আমরা হয়তো একটা কিছু দিনের মধ্যে তোমাদেরকে জানাবো যে তোমরা কিন্তু রেডি হতে থাকো এই সমস্ত বিষয় বা তোমাদের যে সমস্ত সিলেবাসের বিষয় সেগুলো থেকে বিষয় নিয়ে চয়েস করে তোমরা চুজ করবে তোমরা, এবং এক একটা বিষয় নিয়ে এক একজন বলবে, এবং সেইভাবে যেভাবে ওয়েবিনার হচ্ছে সেভাবে আমরা শুনবো তোমাদের কথা। এটা কিন্তু কিছুদিনের মধ্যে আমরা করব। তোমরা রেডি থাকো সেই সব বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে, এবং তোমরা প্রস্তুত হও এবং চেষ্টা করো প্রত্যেকটা ওয়েবিনার শোনার। আর ফিডব্যাক ফর্ম সব আমরা ওই গ্রুপে দিয়ে দেবো, পরবর্তীকালে তোমরা গ্রুপ থেকে সার্টিফিকেট একসঙ্গে সব পাবে। ধন্যবাদ আবার সৌম্য, খুব ভালো লাগলো যে এরকম একটা আলোচনা আসলে। হ্যাঁ,
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
থ্যাংক ইউ ওয়ান্স এগেইন। ওকে।